We're live.
No, we're
Mr.
not.
Gary, we're on the air.
All right, sounds good. How's everything going?
Good, good. It's been
All
a
right.
real fantastic day. Really
All
excited
right,
about
yeah.
this tonight.
Welcome to our hangout or webinar, whichever you want to call it. My name's Gary Fitzgerald, President and CEO of the Millionaires Club. We got Thomas Fernandez there. He's on our lead, what do you want to call it, lead panel. And he's my right-hand man. He's been with me since day one, so he's right there to give some input, add suggestions, and other good stuff like that. So Thomas, how's it going for you today?
It's going real good there, Gary. I had some people I talked to today and that really interested in getting involved with the Millionaires Club, and I think we're really growing so far, and I think we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, I mean we're getting ready. We're getting ready to take off. The secret's not out yet, but it's going to be. And like I keep saying all the time, once that little, right now we got a little hole in the dam, just a little bit of trickling out, but it's going to open up shortly when people start to realize the value in the Millionaires Club and the potential that they can create in their lives. Plus, our compensation plan is so generous, it's unbelievable, right? And
Yes.
yeah, I got plans on working on something else right now to help people make even more money. I might implement that over the next couple of days. And Thomas and I had talked about it, and we think we're going to move ahead with that. But tonight's topic, and we're going to have these hangouts, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday as well, and they're going to be like sequential because it's this topic about thinking and mindset and everything. It's hard to cover the whole thing in one short webinar, which is about 45 minutes, because Thomas is going to put some input in, and then I'm going to relate to that and give a few examples. So it's clear in your mind, what's possible, what you can do, and it's not difficult at all. Once you got the basics down of right thinking, anything is possible, right? And the first thing I just wanted to say, the brain. I'm laughing because everything, their brain controls everything that you do, right? Controls your entire body, controls your life. It controls the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you act. How you get along with others. It creates the personality and a character within you. It's all part of the brain work, right? And it's behind every single decision that you have made and will make. So don't you think you should have an idea how this thing works a little bit so you can have more control over what happens in your life? I mean, I read a lot of books, and if you can take control of your thinking, you can actually predict your future life. Because the problem is a lot of people don't really sit down and take the time to think about things. People are more in a reactive state rather than to sit down and contemplate things out. So so these webinars are going to try and bring you slowly a smooth way to start, using your mind and your thinking in the proper way, so you act better, and if you act better, you're going to get better results. And also, you can save a lot of time too, because if you're thinking properly, you're going to be more efficient and more effective, and then there's a lot less stress too. So all these factors together is such a positive way to live, and you're living on purpose because you have control of what you're thinking, and your thinking has control of what you act, how you act, and then that controls your results. Now, obviously, sometimes you don't have control over everything, but you can have control over the majority of what you're doing. And those things that you don't have control over, it's how you react to those things. Okay, so something bad may happen that's unexpected, but you have to learn how to react properly when something like that happens, right? So how you're going to respond. So let's get a little further, and I got my notes here, so see me looking down a little bit. I'm trying to follow the notes so this thing runs kind of smoothly and I don't miss anything. Anytime you want, Thomas, you can interject. I think we have the sidebars open for messages or questions if anybody wants to shoot a question in. Okay, so if you watch out for that, Thomas. If you see any questions come in, let me know what they are, because I'm busy, with this other stuff, so I don't have time to look over. So basically, if you can get your brain, your thinking, to work right, your life is going to turn out right, okay? Because you're going to be doing the right things. So we got to get your brain working right. Let me ask you a question, Thomas. Have you've had computers in your past, right?
I've used what? Was that?
You've had computers in your life, right? You got one now.
Oh, so yes, sir, I do.
Have you ever had a virus get into your computer?
Oh, yes, definitely.
And what happened to What happened to your computer?
One of two choices. Either it crashes or it has a tendency to slow down and freeze. Right. And of course, you got to take it to your tech to be able to remove all the viruses. And what has happened to me in the past is that they go ahead and tell me to pull out my information that I want to keep, and then they take it down to nothing, to clean it up.
Well, I asked you that question for a reason, obviously, But, when the virus gets into a computer, the whole computer, the mainframe that starts not working properly, starts getting all kinds of messed up. And like you said, it can crash, it can do all kinds of weird things, but it's not going to work properly, right? So the same thing happens when you put negative things into your mind. When you start putting a lot of negative thoughts into your mind, and your brain is not going to work properly. And if it's not working properly, you're not going to work properly. So we got to get you more into putting positive stuff into your mind and getting rid of the negative. You want to live in a positive world, not a negative world, right? So your mind is just like the computer, and that's really what your mind is. Your mind is actually a computer. It's going all these things all the time. Actually, it said that you have over about 4,000 thoughts a day, right? So that's a lot of thoughts, and you want to if you have 2,000 or 3,000 of those thoughts are on the negative side. Don't you think that's going to have an effect on you, on your outer world, right? How you act and how you behave. If you're thinking negatively, don't you think that's going to reflect on how you act on the outside, right? Definitely will, So that's why when you see these certain people, they're full of enthusiasm. They're doing things, getting things done. They have a really proactive mind. And you can always, and then the other people, the people with negative mind, you can tell them in a second. Just by the expression on their faces and stuff like that. So, is our intention over the next couple of days is try to get you into the right frame of mind, thinking right, so you can act right, and then you get the right results. So. So that's what we're going to be talking about over the next couple of days. Let's see.
Well, basically, it comes down to making choices. We all have choices to make. Do we want to make the same choices that we made in the past, or do we want to make new choices to be able to better our lifestyle and have a better communication with others of like
Right.
minds.
Well, when you come to choices, like I said before, a lot of people, they live in a reactive world. That means when it comes to making a choice, sometimes they'll jump on a choice really too quickly, and it could be, in most times, it'll probably be the wrong choice. Um, so you really got to take a little time and step back and look at the whole picture, and weigh that choice, and see, trying to figure out which is the best way to go. What's best for the future? Not, sometimes people choose what's best for now, right? And they don't really think about the future that much. So sometimes you may have to make a different choice now in order to create something else down the road. So people need to have delayed gratification sometimes. They have to sometimes put off today so you can have something better tomorrow. And so, if you pay attention to we're going to show you some more options. But if you pay more attention to your choices, because your choices, all your past choices, right, have brought you to where you are today. Every single one of them. Your best thinking, I heard somebody say, your best thinking has brought you where you are to today. Well, that's not always true, but
Right.
But you got to think, you got to think responsibility.
Sometimes our emotions are the ones that make us make the bad choices, and I think that's one of the things that we're going to be talking about, is to help you make the right choice.
Yeah, emotions are pretty much make most of your decisions, So and you've got to take control of your emotions, because sometimes they'll get you into big trouble. One time I went out and I was, looking to buy a car, and I had something in mind, and I went to the showroom, and then there was this other car right next to it, a lot more expensive, beautiful. Salesman came over. He got me in the seat of that car as fast as he could, because he wanted me to imagine what it was like to be driving that car, beautiful, beautiful convertible car. And I sat there and I just, all my emotions, like, wow, this is going to be fun to drive. People are going to look at me. And, I ended up buying the car, and unfortunately the payments were a lot higher than I really wanted to, so I didn't have the car as long as I really wanted to. This is when I was young. But I let my emotions take over, and if I bought the other car, things would have been a lot better for me. So
well, they get you with that new car smell. That new car smell really but that's what we want to try and do. Yeah, I want to help people have that.
Don't sit behind the wheel. But we in Millionaires Club, what we really want to do, and not just for this week, but consistently over time, we want to help you move forward towards your real potential. We want to pull your real potential out of you and start, realizing what you're capable of, right? And once you start realizing it and you start moving forward step by step, right, in small chunks, and things start working on a positive way, and you're gonna open your eyes and say, wow, that's gonna keep you moving forward and moving forward. And every time you take a step, it kind of compounds on each other, right? So it kind of builds and builds and builds. And when people start seeing positive results, their belief system kicks in big time. Okay, so we're going to go a little bit more in that down the road a little bit. Right now, I'm just going to go over, but that's what we're going to try and do in the Millionaires Club, and really get you to pull the best out of you and starting to put it into work, right? Put it to work and start creating a better lifestyle for yourself, right? Okay, yeah. Well, everything you really need to become successful, to have money, whatever your dream is, right? You have it within you to create that. and you just have to. It's just a system you got to follow in order to pull it out, and it takes a little time. You just can't just pull it out and that's it. You got to really. There's like I guess like almost like a system you have to follow, and a step-by-step process, and it works. Believe me, it works. Okay.
Well, a lot of times we need a coach and we need a support to be able to do that. And of course, everybody that has been successful, and we know that has been successful, has always had a mentor, has always had someone they rely on to be able to give them the encouragement that they need. And that's what we're here for, is to help you to be able to achieve those steps.
Yeah, I mean, if people watching see that, we're giving them a lot of value, a lot of content, and we're trying to help them, and if they follow our steps that we show them to take, and they're going to want to, stay, keep going. And the Millionaires Club is all about building dreams. So, in order to build your dreams, you got to build yourself up first. You got to build your self-esteem up. Then you got to start making money too, because money is part of your dream. Let's face it. Without a certain amount of money, you're not really going to live your dream lifestyle. So, we're going to do both at the same time. We're going to help you build your dream and help you make money at the same time, and go down that road. Where you have to go. It's going to be a fun journey. I mean, it's really, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I hope, once people get aware of the Millionaires Club and what we have to offer, we're going to have a lot of people coming on, and it's going to be a lot more fun. We'll have more people down the panel and sharing stories and things with. Okay. Here's one thing you got to do: you got to get people brave enough. All right, some people are afraid, but you got to be brave enough to really sit down and contemplate your life. Okay, not where you've been, okay, but where you want to go. All right, too many people live in the past. You got to get people to open up their vision mind and start, looking into the future and trying to realize what they want and pull it together so they can visualize what they want their future life to look like. All right, but you got to take the time. People got to take the time to sit down and really just push everything to the side, get rid of all distractions, and just really sit down and have a dream session. And if you're married, do it with your spouse, or your significant other, whatever your case may be. Get involved in your own life from this point forward. Just start planning. Don't be just a reactive person. What life throws you, and then react to it. That's like throwing your life to luck. And do you really want to just see how lucky you are with life, or you actually want to take control of your the captain of your own ship, so to speak, and steer yourself towards a certain direction, right?
Well, we know for every journey, you've got to take the first step. You've got to take that first step and go on through that door.
Right. Well, the first thing is you got to think about that step, and then you got to take that step, and then you, you take one step, just get a little bit of positive reaction, and then you'll take the next one, and you get a little bit more. So it's a compounding, it's a domino effect. You build on compounding, okay?
And we know it's not going to be easy to take that step, because a lot of times we get in that comfort zone that we're in, and things get difficult, then we go right back to that comfort zone, and we don't want to do that.
You're in that comfort zone. But part of the Millionaires Club is we want to challenge you, we want to dare you to live a good life. I mean,
right.
It's your life. Don't you want a fantastic life? I mean, really, seriously. You want to do, I don't know where you are right now, but if you want a better life, don't you deserve it? Don't you want to be, don't you know, and nobody else can do it for you. Even the Millionaires Club, we can't do it for you. All we can do is kind of coach you and guide you, and hopefully you'll take the steps necessary to move forward. And that's what we're all about. We're going to be here constantly mentoring, coaching people, and but it's up to the people what they end up doing. You know, I mean, it's your life. I think you would like to live it in a lot better place than where you are now. We're gonna get you to start dreaming. Okay. You know, and a lot of people they balk at changing. Okay. Maybe they're a little comfortable with their life, they're okay, and there's nothing really bad going on. But sometimes they'll wait until something really bad does happen. You know, you got the drug addicts and the alcoholics out there, and they will not quit drinking or using drugs until they hit rock bottom. And then ordinary people, sometimes they have to wait for a financial catastrophe to come along before they do anything. So people are reluctant to change, and you know, because they fear things. But that's another topic we'll talk about is fear. But people gotta be bold with their own life, right? Change is good. Change is good. And you can make it what it is. We'll talk more about that part, a little bit later. I did it too. I mean, I'll be one of the first to admit. When I was younger, I didn't want to change. I said, well, this is my life. This is who I am. But it's not. It's not. There's somebody. You can be so much more. And once I got the taste of things, once I started realizing things when I was in my late 20s, and I got involved in real estate, it opened up a whole new world for me, and and then I just kept going from there. And I had a lot of hard times. A lot of times I crashed, went right down to the bottom, but I didn't stay there. I had enough common sense, to say, oh, no, I'm not staying here. Life may hit me hard, but I'm not staying down. And boom, you go back up. So that's one of the things you're gonna learn is, how to, if something bad happens, how are you gonna react to it? You can sit there and feel sorry for yourself. It's bad thinking, right? Bad thinking. And what happens to bad thinking? Bad actions, bad results, and you sit there and your world starts falling apart because you're feeling sorry for yourself. But, you take control of your life. Even something bad happens, you got to react in a certain way and move past it, find a solution to a problem or whatever it is. Don't look at the problem and concentrate on the problem, find a solution and move forward from there. Okay?
Even the most successful people have had failures. And I know a lot of times people are afraid to fail, but you have to, I don't know, it kind of brings me back to when I was in high school and my football coach told us, he says, you get hit, you get knocked down, you roll to the right, you roll to the left, but you get up and you keep going. You're going to get hit, you're going to get knocked down, so you get up and you keep going. That's what wins the games, and that's what makes you a winner with the Millionaires Club.
That's right. And since you brought up sports, I might as well tell you, I was in the Army for 2 years, and I was part of a boxing team in the Army, and it was, and I went undefeated, so I won every fight. I think I had somewhere close to 12 fights and won all of them. But a couple of times I got knocked down, and that made me mad. So I got up, I like Rocky, I got up and I started pounding back.
But you didn't quit. You didn't quit.
No, you can't quit. You can't quit in anything. If you're going to start something, don't ever quit. You finish it. So that was funny. You brought up sports, but Tony Robbins. I follow some of his stuff. Some of his stuff's a little deep because he goes into neuroscience and stuff, and a little hard to follow at times. But Tony Robbins, he says if people change, all right, they'll start changing their thinking when one of two things happens, either through inspiration or through desperation. Okay? So something really bad has to happen to make you want to change, or you have to be inspired by something. If you're in between, you're really not going to do anything to change. Okay? You're kind of going to stay there where you are. So here in the Millionaires Club, you may be, down at the bottom, having a really hard time right now. So you're kind of desperate. So we're going to try and bring you up. We're going to try and inspire you to bring you up out of that situation and give you, show you signs of hope and how you can move forward no matter what position you are. And we're also, we're going to, and if you're not in that bad situation, if you're just okay, you're probably not watching this video if you're okay. But we're going to try and inspire you at the same time. Okay, you're going to hear some stories of people that we invite on here to the hangout. You're going to hear their stories, not just our stories. But if you can relate, right, you can start moving forward. You can do something, and so we're going to do that. So we're going to try and inspire you big time. Okay, I did that already. So what we're going to do is, we're going to try and get you to think really in a constant positive way. You got to feed your mind constant positive stuff. What you daydream about. My daydream, when I'm daydreaming, I'm always thinking of possibilities. What a future life and how I can build the Millionaires Club better and how I can help people. So everything I'm daydreaming about is super positive. So we got to get people to think, what they can do to better themselves and putting those thoughts into their mind rather than, oh my God, this or that, whatever it is. They get involved with TV shows and sports. It's really kind of a waste of time. But I guess it's relaxing for some people to watch that stuff. You got to change some of your habits that you're doing right now. You may have some really bad habits that you may want to get rid of and create some new ones, some more positive ones. Stop watching so much TV and start reading books. I read books all the time, and you got to educate yourself. You got to, constantly put new stuff into your mind. And you got to learn. You got to keep learning and learning and learning. Okay? And this may be a hard thing, but sometimes you may have to change your friends. That's going to be a hard subject to talk about. But sometimes, if you want to start a new life, you may have to find some new friends, unfortunately, because your friends can actually keep you down. And we'll talk about that more. I don't want to get, it's like a heavy subject, and I'll talk about that more in one of our other webinars. But I just want to make you aware of some of the things you may have to do. Okay? And you got to talk a little bit differently. You got to start talking with more positive words. Get away from any kind of foul language that you use, and always have positive words coming out of your mind. Don't be complaining. Don't be getting angry and stuff like that. So it's fun. Bad words, bad language. I hate to be around people who are constantly using the F word and swearing words. That's immature, okay? And it's actually, don't do it, because successful people don't talk that way. Okay. Getting through this stuff pretty quick. You got anything, Thomas, or any questions on the board?
You have pretty much covering everything that I would think about it. That you said,
well, I still got one more page to go.
There's changes that we have to make, because the saying misery loves company, and the thing about it is, if you're being successful, some of the people, friends of yours that you have now, are literally going to be either not wanting to associate with you anymore, or they're going to want to be part of your success. So these are things that happen, but these are changes that take place in your life. Also, like Gary brought out, the vulgarity of some people that all of a sudden I used to years back associate and with people that do that, and it's really not acceptable, especially when there's children and women around. And of course, some guys, like to do it. I'm sorry, I can't. So, it's just
Yeah.
part of being a
It's
successful
part of
person.
it's part of your character. You want to have a character, a character that people want to be around, right? You want to have a personality where that draws people to you. And if you want to find success, you got to attract people. If you're in sales, you want to be friendly with people, and if your verbiage is not really good, you can actually push people away. So you want to really exude. You want to have an aura around you that people look at you and say, "Oh, that guy is," you might not say anything. That your body language is in positive way. You just
Right.
you just give off this energy of success and happiness and positiveness, right? And it takes some time. It's just not an overnight thing you got to do. It took me time. It takes everybody time to build this up, and it's just a matter of belief and stuff. And you got this. That's why I say if you think right, that thinking creates right acting, and then the right actions create the right results. So you got to pay attention to what you're thinking about. Think before you talk sometimes, and so we'll go from there. Okay, I'm going to try and see if this fits in right now. Okay, this is like another book I'm reading now. I was going to talk about this, but give me a second. I'm just looking over some of my notes here. What we want you to do, okay, this is good. In the Millionaires Club, we want you to start living in anticipation of future events, okay? What does that mean? That means the future events are your dreams, things that you want to happen. Maybe in a future event could be buying that sports car you want, or buying that dream house, a certain trip somewhere. And we want you to start, living with anticipation, okay? Because that anticipation, it pulls you, it drives you forward. It pulls you and pushes you at the same time, right? And we want to. So if we create the future for you, well, you create it for yourself, but then you start moving forward towards it. So you got to live. What is this? In sales, you probably heard this expression, be, do, have. Have you ever heard that, Thomas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir, I have.
Okay, yeah. If you're in sales of any kind, or most people have heard that be, do, have, and what it really means to be is to become the person you want to become in the future. Okay, whoever you want to be in the future, you got to start becoming that person today. All right, you got to start acting like that person that you want to be in the future, and it's really important because so if you want to be rich, I don't know how rich you want to be, but if you want to be rich, you got to start acting rich today. Even if you got no money, you got to start acting that way, and doing the things that the rich people do. Okay. The do is the action part. You got to do things. You got to do things differently, and like whatever you want, wherever you want to be, there's actions you need to take daily. All right, that moves you closer to that lifestyle that you want. Right? Okay, so you got to kind of be here and then do, and then once you start being and doing, then you start having. Okay. Things start moving towards you. Little by little, things start coming And as you then you say, wow, and then you keep moving forward even more. So be do have. that's
And part of that doing is yeah, part of that doing is the educational part of it. Because whatever you do, you have to educate yourself, get product knowledge. And here in the Millionaires Club, we will help you and give you the information, but only as a member. Once you become a member, then you will have access to educate yourself, and we will help you to be able to have that lifestyle and help you to do the things that you need to do to be able to acquire success.
Yeah, I mean, this is like one little short webinar. So, and the purpose of this is Monday webinar. We have 3 more, and we're going to go into a little bit more depth on tomorrow and the next day, and then we'll do like highlights and stuff on Thursday. We'll talk more about the Millionaires Club. But what we want really to do is we kind of want you to open your eyes. We want you to start thinking after this webinar. We just want you to say, what they said made sense, and I really got to start really contemplating what I want my life to look like in the future. I do have control of what happens. I do. You got to keep saying that. You just can't live in a reactive world because you're not really going to go anywhere. It was Jim Rohn. He was like one of my mentors. I read all his stuff. I watched all his videos and stuff like that. And he said, well, you can set out to sea in one boat or another boat. One boat has no sail, right? And when it gets out there, it just blows around with the wind and the currents. So where are you going to end up? Okay, that's a reactive life. You just get blown around, or you can have these big sails and set your sails to a certain destination. You can either be in either one of those 2 boats, and obviously I'm in the boat with the sail heading for a specific destination. And if you have the sails, you just guide you, and the sail is really your mind, right? That's what it is. If you have a positive mind, and it's going to set your sails straight, and you move towards it, because your mind and your thinking controls everything. Okay, so I got that one. Okay, then I did results or feedback. Yeah, when things happen to you, whether it's good or bad. So if you do something happens, right? What's that? Cause and what? Whatever that. Cause and effect. Okay. When you do something happens, right? So whatever that thing that happens, that is feedback for you. So if you do something that's not working, that's feedback telling you you're doing something wrong, and to look at it. If it comes back, if you do something and it's working, then do more of it. And then so you got to pay attention to the results that you're getting. All right, because they're going to tell you if you're doing things right or wrong, and then if you change or improve, you watch the results again, and so you pay attention to the results. And if they're not what you want, it's telling you you got to change. There's something not working properly. So it's the same thing with your life. Right now, if your life is not where you want it to be, it's because the feedback is telling you you're doing something wrong. You're doing something wrong in your life. You're not doing what you should be doing. So you got to change. In order to improve, you got to change. It's the only. There's no way around it. What does that say? If you keep doing the same things that you've been doing and expect something different to happen, that's the definition of insanity, right? So if you want good things to happen, you want a better life, you have to change. You have to change. There's just no way around it. Okay, and you got to change at the same level that you grow. All right, if your bank account is growing higher and higher, you have to grow too at the same rate. Okay, so we're going to teach you how to grow and as a person. So as your lifestyle and money comes in, that you're going to grow as a person at the same time. Okay. What time is it now? Okay, we're doing good. We're going to try and teach you how to concentrate, use the focus on something, focus on your dream, and if instead of doing so many things, focus on one thing, and zoom in on it and start doing things to move it forward. Okay, that didn't make much sense, but let me see how if I can rephrase that a little bit differently. What you focus on, what you put your energy towards, increases, right? So if you're paying attention to one thing and and you put more energy into it, it's going to grow, right? All right. So I'm just looking. Okay, almost done here. So so you can. Okay, you can use your mind, thinking properly, to create your future reality. Okay, so you can do this. It's you have to do this. I have my own dream yet too. I'm not fully there. I'm almost there. I'll probably be there by year's end. I'm going to be buying a house right on the beach in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And all my attention and my daily actions are to move me every day closer to that. Okay, and I'm not going to rest. It's going to happen. It has to happen. It will happen. That's the kind of mindset you got to have. You got to have something that you want, and then you just got to say, well, it's going to happen. It will happen. And then you just put a time frame on it. Otherwise, you got to put a time frame on any kind of outcome or goal that you want to set for yourself. And then I'll just, in closing on this one, is that you have to commit. You really have to commit to this. You have to, if there's a lifestyle that you want, you have to commit to it every day on a daily basis. It's so important that you commit. This is your life. You need to commit to it and create the best life you can. So you can't create a really good life if today you do something to improve your life, and then next month you do something, then another couple of months you do something else. It won't work that way. You got to become that. You got to get into that action plan today, tomorrow, next day, and every day. You can take off Sunday maybe if you want to rest, but
but that's why we're here today, and we'll be here tomorrow and the next day and the next day. And because we made a commitment to the Millionaires Club that we're going to make it a success.
Well, I made a commitment to my members. When the members join the Millionaires Club, I make a commitment to them that I'm going to do everything I can to help them create the lifestyle that they desire, help them, create that dream that they want so bad. And once once you realize that your dream can come true, it can, then you're going to put more energy into it. That's why getting started is probably going to be the hardest thing, to do. That's a good one, because if you look at a locomotive, right, and it's pulling a whole bunch of freight cars behind it, getting that engine going to pull all those cars, it needs all its energy up front, right, and to start pulling all this weight that's behind it. But then when it starts rolling, it doesn't need as much power, right? Same thing with a jet taking off. You ever, they got to go really fast. They have to go, they have to take real fast in order to take off. And then once they get up there, then they don't need as much power anymore. all right, they start smoothing. So what I'm trying, my point is you have to create a lot of power now to change, all right? And then once you start getting better at it, things are going to run smoother, and you don't need to use as much energy. I hope that makes sense to you, Thomas.
It does make sense to me. That's exactly what I was thinking. Is that initial investment or desire to have it, but it's going to require changes in our lives, and there's things that we were doing before that will have to change and not do them anymore, and so that you can be able to achieve a lifestyle of success.
Yeah.
And the good thing about it is we're right here to help.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what we're here for. You got to get committed to your own life, and you got to take your life seriously. I keep saying this over and over again because I really want you to. I don't need my reading glasses anymore. So I really want you to start planning your life. Really sit down and say, what do I want? What do I want? And be really specific about it. I mean, just don't say, oh, I want a big house on the ocean. I say that, but I also know what it's going to look like. Okay. If you want a dream car, what kind of dream car? You got to get specific what kind of car it's going to be, the make, model, color, and all that good stuff. You got to be able to picture it in your mind. It can't be fuzzy. It has to be crystal clear. And as you move closer to it, all right, as you start taking steps to move your life forward, it actually becomes clearer and clearer. And we'll talk about some other tools that you can use to make this dream become clearer to you. I'll just mention one is to have a dream board. A dream board is basically, a big poster type piece of paper or a bulletin board or something, and you start, putting up pictures of the things that you want to happen in your life, and then you attach a date underneath it. And sometimes what you want to do is, if you want, you can, like a dream car, go to the showroom and take a test drive, all right, and get in there, and then, see what it feels like to drive that car and stuff. My dream car is going to be a Bentley convertible. Since I live in Florida, I want to have a convertible, and I want it to be a beautiful, beautiful convertible. I want it to say successful, and so it's going to be interesting how this all plays out, with the Millionaires Club and its members, and it's going to be a lot of fun because there's going to be a lot of people in here, and a lot of stories, many, many different stories, because everybody wants different things. But the basics to get what they want are all the same, okay? It's all the same. It doesn't matter what kind of lifestyle you want. You just have to follow a certain basic process, and it'll lead you to any lifestyle that you desire. And we're going to lay it out for you, stone by stone by stone. And all these videos are going to be, they're all recorded. They're all going to be in the back office. So if you ever miss anything or you want to refresh your memory on one of the things we're doing, you can go back and watch these videos again. And I suggest you do that too. Repetition, builds it into your mind. You just can't look at something one time. You got to kind of keep going over it a few times. So, some people take longer. But that's why if I'm reading a book, I highlight or underline certain phrases and stuff in the book that I like, and then I always have a notebook next to me, and I put the title of the book, and then I make notes about it. So when I want to go back, I don't want to have to read the whole book or go looking for it. Everything is highlighted. So I just have to read the highlighted passages and to refresh my memory. And I do that often, And I was going to say something, but I can't remember what it was now. But yeah, so so get excited. Make it. One last thing, and before we close this thing out, I want you to think big. All right, make the dream big. It has to be attainable, but make it big, big. All right, because if it's too small, if it's like small, there's not enough desire to get there. So it has to be really something really big that's going to draw you to that thing you want. All right. It's like me. I want that house on the ocean. It cost a couple of $1,000,000, but but I know the lifestyle. I lived there before, so I know the lifestyle. I know the feeling. So that draws me like crazy. I mean, it just pulls me there. Because as I get older, I want that lifestyle, being on the beach, walking along the beach every morning and every night. And I lived that life, and on the beach, I was with somebody at the time, and when we broke up, I moved out. but that lifestyle, oh man, I can't explain it. But everybody's lifestyle is going to be different. Everybody wants different things. That's cool.
Well, everybody had different dreams, and that's the thing about it is, Gary, lives in Florida on the beach, and I live on the West Coast up in the mountains. So, it's just a matter of what is it that you want. But in order to be able to do that, take that first step is join the Millionaires Club. One of the things that we do have is if you want to just check us out for a while, you can even join free. But join to be able to get access to a lot of the things that we have in our back office.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you're going to create change in your life, it's very, very, very difficult to do it on your own. It's really hard. There's very few people that can really, sit down there and do that. So you really do need a coach or a mentor to help you. And if you try and get a private mentor one-on-one, they're very expensive, and that's why we open up the Millionaires Club. We're going to have other people come on board, and they're going to share stories and stuff, and you can get all this mentoring and coaching and stuff for just $25. All right. Now, in the future, we're going to be doing something a little bit differently, so I would jump on board. Now, we're going to have the $25 program, but we're going to be doing some things in the future that's going to be really exciting. And also, just to bring it up before we close, we're going to have live events too. So, and we're going to have some really some well-known people as speakers. So I'm not going to talk too much about the club. Just that, if you like what you heard tonight and you value the content, which I think was, was pretty good. And that was the basics today. I didn't even get into, more of the details. And it's not that hard, okay? It's really not that hard. But you just have to have an open mind to receive it. And then once you receive it, you have to actually put it into action into your life. And once you start seeing the results play out, you'll understand what I'm talking about much more. Right now, they're just words to you, but once you start experiencing it, once you feel the difference and you see the difference, change is necessary. Good change. Right?
Okay.
You always want good. So that's it. So be bold. What is it? The one statement I wanted to read. I'm just gonna make one more statement, then we'll close. I think it was on the first page. Okay. Yeah. Be brave. Be brave enough to contemplate your own life. Be brave. Be bold. Right, with yourself. All right, like I keep saying, this is your life. So how do you want to live it? How? And then write it down. Write down how you want to live your life in the future. You know, next year, the next following year, 5 years. Write down how you want to live. And then set up an action plan to get there. And we'll help you with all that. We're going to give you so much training to get there. You know, the coach and train you constantly to help you. Okay, and have fun doing it too at the same time. You know, this is kind of, you know, I try to inject some humor and make this a little bit fun, so it's not so dead serious. You know, some people come on board and just boom, boom, boom. You know, you gotta do that. You know, so no, no, no. You know, it's gotta be fun. If it's not fun, nobody's gonna do it, right? They're gonna say, "Oh, I can't." You know, boom, close out and leave. So we'll have some stories. We'll have some stories that we'll share to give you examples and stuff, so you can understand a little bit better. And we'll get more people on the panel below. They'll share some stories. And I got like 3 minutes. I like to go 1 hour then stop. So I'll tell you a little. I'll be sharing some stories about my real estate career and how I started and where I ended up and the process along the way, because that'll help open your eyes to you know, what you're capable of doing. And you know, the possibilities are there for you. It's within inside you. Okay, you have the capabilities of doing whatever you want, just about. You just have to bring it out and put action to it. So you want to light a fire under your dream. Relight. What do you call it? You know, rekindle it. We want to rekindle your dream if you think it's out, and we want to rekindle it and boom, boom, build up the fire more. So. It's funny. I just one more thing. I got a guy from Austria. He's going to be joining. He's signing up tomorrow. He's from Austria. So this is open this is open worldwide. I have some friends in Australia that have signed up. I'm in China right now. I'm visiting my wife's family. So, you know, there's a lot of things going on. So. With that, I think I'll just close. We're at 1 hour now. So I hope you enjoyed the webinar, the hangout, whatever you want to call it. We'll have the links tomorrow night. We have another one to continue. We're going to talk more about action. Okay, rather than thinking. We talked more about thinking today. Tomorrow we're going to talk about what actions to take, and we're going to talk more about that. So your actions will create a lot more better results. And then on Wednesday we'll talk about getting better results in your life. And then on Thursday we'll do a little recap, and then we'll do a very short presentation on the Millionaires Club and how you can benefit as a member. Okay, or you can join right away. So get back to the person who invited you here. You know, let them know that you want to go on tomorrow's webinar. Or you can tell them, hey, this is great, I want to join, and he'll tell you or she'll tell you the process to join. Okay, so it only takes a couple of minutes, and that's it. Anything else, Thomas?
Nope, you pretty well covered everything. Look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll be here 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's 9 a.m. here in China. So I'm at my son-in-law's house right now, so don't be looking at the background trying to figure out things. So I bought a condo. We're moving into our condo on Friday. So my wife's over there hanging wallpaper now. So okay, my friends, I'm signing off, and I hope to see you tomorrow. And always good fortune to you. Okay? Take care now. Bye.